You guys just you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
And I might need to tell Ryan to cut that up a little bit and just put it in my audio for my phone.
First of all, I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf. And what it lends to a person and the friendships you develop on the golf course.
It's been a pleasure being on the drop. I wish you guys all the best down the road.
As someone like you have that golf itch like a lot of us do.
I keep track of you, and you are moving. You are on the move.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike, and you too, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back. It is episode 158. Mike and I here. Let's run through the schedule real quick and then get into the episode. Mike, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm really excited for our main topics today. So real quick, our schedule. Sunday, the 12th, going back a few days. I played Shoregate, the front nine. Full videos out. Head over to YouTube. Go check it out if you haven't already done that. Mike, we can talk about that either in a little bit, or do you want to let it breathe a little bit, and we'll recap it a little next week about the day there.
We'll give it a week. Let it marinate a little bit.
let everyone go see. Yeah, marinate is what needs, because the taste that's going to be in your mouth is going to be, you're going to need some marinated marination there. Monday, the 13th, Mike and I both were able to play Pine Barrens. You might have seen some stuff that's come out this week. We were there with Zach from the Makeshift Project. Mike takes on the par 5 ninth hole for his verse this week. That came out on Monday. Head over to YouTube, head over to Instagram, go check out that. That's where those things live. Today is the 14th, episode 158. Mike, wait for the camera. You got us here on YouTube. You can also head over to anywhere where you find podcasts, but wherever you're listening or watching, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, all those good things. We really do appreciate those. On Wednesday this week, Ryan's verse is also a par 5. Mike, I've been really conscious about not doing par 3s. I got a lot of flack for doing them, so we're on a par 5 train. I kind of feel like they might not have come out necessarily, but as far as our recording, it feels like we've gotten a whole bunch of them. I take on the par 5 15th hole at Pine Barrens. Great hole. You got bunkering down the whole right hand side, little dog leg right, or kind of like the whole thing moves right, but par 5, it's a great hole. So you're gonna have to see what happens coming out there on Wednesday this week. Thursday, our guest for this week is David Pastore, 2025 Met Open champion. David's an absolute stick. I mean, you talk about like some guys that we've had on as of late that can golf their golf ball, as Mike likes to say. David's right there with the best of them. So the Met Open champ of this year is a huge accomplishment. So having him on was great. We talk about that. And then Friday, we got a little video coming out. Mike does 3 in 30 seconds versus Pine Barrens Golf Club. And that is our weekly schedule for this week.
This episode is presented by All County Exteriors. If you're a homeowner or builder in New Jersey, there's one name you need to know for exterior and interior modeling. It's All County Exteriors. From roofing, siding, windows and doors, to kitchens, bathrooms, flooring and trim, they do it all. And with over 40 years of experience as a third-generation, family-owned company, you're getting more than just a contractor. You're getting a team that stands behind their work. Now, it is a great time to finally start that deck project you've been putting off before the winter weather hits and lead times pile up. And when you choose All County, you're not just getting top-tier craftsmanship. You're supporting a company rooted in real community values, proudly giving back through organizations like Make-A-Wish, St. Jude's, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. Right now, they're offering an instant 20% off a limited time. Call 732-370-2780 or email info@allcountyonline.com. to schedule your free consultation. All County Exteriors. Quality you can trust from people who care. All right, let me hit you here with the fast facts. And unfortunately, I the way in the land down under out there in Japan, as we're recording, our man Max Grazerman is currently tied with Xander Schauffele in first place to win potentially his first ever tournament. So I know this is Tuesday, and I know you probably had heard from us if Max did the unthinkable and actually got his first win. But as we're recording, they're both sitting there at 12 under par. So hopefully he got the job done. And now you're just listening to this saying you guys are late to the party. Anyway. And at the current time, Chris is sitting T38. He did make the cut, had a nice second round. So, to your earlier point last week, it was more of just a vacation. It was a / business trip as well. Trying to get a check, vacation, memories. He checked all those boxes.
Yeah.
On the Korn Ferry Tour, this is where things were happening because it is the championship event. It is the finals. Our man James did secure his card heading into next year. So you're really playing with house money at this point because
his
everybody
Korn Ferry card.
Yeah, his Korn Ferry Tour card. Correct. I apologize if I misspoke.
You just said his card. I want to make sure that he didn't win the tournament and get into the PGA Tour. He's got his Korn Ferry Tour card.
Correct.
As we sit right now.
Yeah, I apologize for the confusion. Yes, he does have his Korn Ferry Tour card set. All good. He's sitting at T35, playing with house money. Like I said, obviously, for him, he's just going to see how high he can climb up the ladder. I will say this real quick about James. I'm sure a ton of people saw his actual financial breakdown after he finished T3 at the last week's or 2 weeks ago event and how much money he actually takes home from those things. Because I think that's a thing that a lot of people like, oh, you make a lot of money when you win these events or you finish top 3. And he actually gave you a full breakdown of everything from meals to lodging to caddy tip, everything in between, and how he got an extra bonus for sponsors because he finished in it. One of those videos that, listen, James does an unbelievable job. He was an unbelievable guest. He's an unbelievable person and, frankly, an unbelievable golfer. So I wish him nothing but the best. But as we sit right here recording on this day, he is T35. Hopefully he climbs the ladder as the week goes on. And that is all I have for this week's Fast Facts.
Mike, I did not see this from James, actually. And
I think it's 2025, right? And I think it's time you start living on your phone and not living off your phone, because I think these are ways that you and I could have even more conversations than our weekly sit downs here on the podcast. Because if you watch this as much as I did, instead of me talking to random people in our DMs or family or friends and anybody else that's a golf sicko like I am, you and I could even chat even more.
I think we chat an appropriate amount for each other, but I follow James. I messaged him when he finished. It's not like I'm not living. This just slipped through my cracks here. Well, that sounded dirtier than I wanted it to. That slipped through the cracks here. This is pretty crazy. I love that he put this out. That is, that's awesome. It is kind of cool to see what he took away, because you hear what they make, right? You hear, these guys make what was his total, you look at this and you would have, seen, okay, he would have made $86,000, but that's not necessarily what it comes down to, right? So he cleared just about 75, but as he gets bigger, and as there's more expenses that come with things, that gets more and more, right? So you go to the PGA Tour, right? More expenses, but, the purses are more, obviously. And I'm sure that James was living tight there, sharing an Airbnb or sharing a hotel or, all that kind of stuff. His flight was $63. That's not first class. That you're talking about a Spirit Airlines flight there for $63, right? then you got to rent a car. You got to get, you got to get gas for the car. You got other expenses there. It's, that's just for one. So I imagine like maybe that just worked out where it was the rental car was quick and easy to the, from the airport or to the airport. Right. Yeah, that was really cool. I'd be interested to see that more often. Like, is that the norm?
Well, he does that. He does that as often. I mean, I don't know. I guess you don't follow James enough.
No. I'm saying, is that the norm? So he made 66 for 66 and a half for finishing third. He gets a bonus for finishing third. So call it, it's 86, and he cleared 75. Let's call it. So that's 11,000. So I wonder if each tournament costs 11,000.
No, because him and his wife, they get their own little spot. They eat very healthy, so they're always going out and grocery shopping more or less, and they're home cooking.
Yeah.
So he finds different ways to reduce his expenses. And if you hear and you listen to that actual reel, he says he used points on the flight to help minimize the costs of the flight. So there's a lot more that goes into it than to say like on average. I got the vibe watching that specific video that things were a little cheaper because he was able to use points or added bonuses that he had.
So I would that's more what I mean. Like, I wonder what the average is for each week as for a Korn Ferry Tour player. Because we've talked about that, Mike. We've talked about those guys out there grinding and how it's only sustainable for X amount of time. Like you have to, at some point the money runs out. And you just you got to shit or get off the pot kind of thing. So I'd be interested in see that. Very cool. No, I'm glad you brought that up because I did miss that. Mike, let's get into the big topic for this week here. You and I had quite a day at Metedeconk National. Let's go from the beginning, right? We had Brent Studer on, who's a director of golf there. End of last year, probably around a year ago, we had him on. And he said, anytime we want to come out and play. He and I had a bet that I can't par the 27th hole from the championship tees. It's a par 4 dog leg. It's got water in front. It's usually into the wind. So, a lot of factors going on there. So we took him up on that bet and we went out and we played the championship course, or the tournament course, I should say. We didn't play the championship tees for the whole day, but we did play. I did play the championship tees on that tee box there, and Brent and I had a little bet going on, and we got some content out there. I don't want to spoil it, Mike, because we are going to put stuff out from it, but you'll have to see how we did that day. But let's talk about the day, because Metedeconk's a place that we've talked about. We know that Matthew Fitzpatrick's a member there. We've talked about that in the past. The Korn Ferry Tour had a stop there. I met up with Ryan McCormick there early on in the podcast days there. So this is a spot that is a staple in New Jersey golf. And you get on property and you see why. It was I've been there before. I know you've been there before. I've seen it with the Korn Ferry stuff up there. And not that they're building out like major grandstands or anything like that, but it does kind of take away from just the whole property when you have signage and things like that around. It's a special spot. And we've talked about this as well. There's not a better practice facility in the country. There's just not. It is unbelievable. So, little intro there. Where do you want to go about our day at Metedeconk here?
Yeah, just to echo that, just huge shout out to Brent to having us out there. We even got to meet, the GM Derek Kopp as well. We met the superintendent Adam out there. So we got to meet quite a few people that do a lot of good work out there. And obviously, without them opening their doors to us to allow us to go out there to record, to video, to experience the whole spot, we just don't get those opportunities. So, Brent's been very kind. Yeah, Brent's been very kind to us. So, but I say this all the time about Metedeconk. Listen, to your earlier point, yes, it is the best practice facility in the country, and I'll state my claim here for as long as people want to argue with me on that, because unless you've actually seen this facility, and I'm just talking practice facility, you don't know what a practice facility is. Yes, there's driving ranges, there's short game areas, there's putting greens, and then there's an actual facility when it comes to strictly practicing. And that's why guys in our area, Matt Fitzpatrick, Chris Goddard, we can go on the names that will legitimately join this golf club just for the practice facility alone. Forget about the golf course. We haven't even gotten to that aspect of it, but the practice facility from the beginning to the end, to the front to the back, you name it, it is unbelievable. So I don't even know, if you could say one negative thing about that whole place.
No, and you can see why that those guys, Fitz and Goddard would join there so that they could practice there. They got, they'd have their own space. You hear about what they do with like their specific golf balls that they go through, and whether that's true or not, how they're doing it. The practice balls are Pro Vs, so there's you have that aspect of it. But then you talk about the facilities there, like the locker room is fantastic. The whole building, the food and beverage is excellent. The golf course is mint. Like, you're talking about a hard golf course that is in perfect shape every time. It's not like they're missing anything at all in any aspect whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think as you get to the golf course, one of the things that Brent and I had gone back and forth about is I wanted us to experience the tournament course. That routing that these guys played on the Korn Ferry Tour that you hear people talk about, because when you're talking about top 25 rankings from Golf Digest, this is the routing that they're referring to. Not to say that the middle 9 that we did not play is not good, but when we're getting one opportunity and maybe a calendar year to go play a spot, ideally we want to see it in the best shape, toughest track, the place that everybody talks about. So he was able and fortunate enough to hook us up to let us go play the actual, tournament course, that routing. And I say this all the time about Metedeconk. Listen, I think that golf course is unbelievable. It's super well maintained. The greens are always so pure. Probably some of the most consistent bunkers I've ever seen. And we've been at a lot of spots recently that have been so damn good. This is just another one that, some people find it hard to get the sand right. But then there's other places that just get it right. And I don't understand why people just don't follow what they are doing, because no matter what, you could hit the ball in the bunker. It was the same compacted, consistent sand all throughout all the bunkers. And yes, I found quite a few, so I can actually speak firsthand. They are so damn good. But I'll say this about Metedeconk. It is very hard. And if you don't have your A game, it will eat you up and spit you right out. It's not even close. You've got to legitimately focus on every single shot, because if you don't, you're in the trees and you're easily making double or triple, which on times you and I both did throughout the round. So I say that, and I know some people don't like playing hard golf courses. Then I hate to say this to you, Metedeconk may not be for you.
It's just true. It is a really, really hard golf course, Mike. And I know that we talked about that quite a bit out there. I think it's a combination. I got chewed up and spit out and booed off stage. I thought you might catch the Eminem reference, but
I got the Eminem reference. It was
bad. It was bad, but I do think it was a combination of like not playing great, but I thought I played better than my score indicated. It's just that hard. If you hit it just a little bit off the fairway and you're in the rough, that rough is super thick. If you hit it, and you get into a precarious spot, like you're going to have to chip out, or you're going to have a rough lie, or you're going to have, there's a myriad of obstacles that are around the course. And if you don't have your A game, you're going to find them and you're going to lose strokes, because it's just too difficult to recover and try to save something. There was one where I hit the ball a touch fat. Again, didn't think it was a bad swing at all, but it was a touch on the thicker side. Ended up in the bunker. Well, the pin was 2 paces, from the bunker, basically. So I had to get out of the bunker, which was over my head, didn't get it close. And then the putt was on a ridge where if I left it a foot short, it was coming back to my feet. And if I put it a foot long, it was going 20 feet past. So you put like the toughness of the course on top of the difficulty of some pin placements, the difficulty of the greens in general, because even if they put them in nice spots, you're still talking about lightning fast greens with a lot of very subtle breaks in them that you can see or not see. It's a test of golf is what it is. And as you said, to your point, if you don't like hard golf courses, you're not going to love this place because it is really, really hard.
As the leaves begin to turn into those stunning fall colors, there's no better place to enjoy it than Galloping Hill Golf Course in Union County, New Jersey. Whether you're looking to play a round of championship level golf, plan the wedding of your dreams, or relax with casual indoor or outdoor dining at a modern gastropub, Galloping Hill has it all. Not many public golf facilities can boast a top-ranked 18-hole golf course, a top 10 in the country 9-hole course, and a top 50 in the country learning center that is home to one of the only golf simulators at a municipally owned golf course in the country. The Swing Suite at Galloping Hill can be booked for an hour to work on your game or multiple hours to have an awesome hangout with your friends while you watch the game. Enjoy the bar-style foods and drinks while playing some of the most famous courses in the world on this simulator. To top it all off, Galloping Hill will be hosting the first stage of Korn Ferry Tour Q School this October. It's all happening this year at Galloping Hill Golf Course. Yeah, and on the counter to that, though, if you want to be challenged and you want to get better at golf, like, no offense, that is the place to go. And I get it. We're all different in terms of like what we're doing for the everyday guy. I don't want to get beat up if I'm playing once a week or once a month. Like, that's not the case. And I understand Metedeconk's also private. Don't DM me and say, well, I can't even get on that place. I understand that. But I'm saying from an aspect of the challenge part of it, like, I think if you're able to play good golf at Metedeconk, like you're able to get from tee to green and make it around the green, and then you go play somewhere else, your game is buttoned up, ready to go. So there is that counter, back and forth as to what are you looking for individually in your golf game.
That handicap travels. That's been a thing that we've put on the show. There's some places where it's not going to because it's too easy or it's too, the course doesn't, have the best rating or, it might be overrated or whatever the case is. This place, if you are able to put up a constant score, you have a 10 handicap there, you're going to win a lot of away matches because you can play a high caliber brand of golf there.
Yeah. And I thought, obviously within that, tournament course, you play the third 9 first. And I thought that 27th hole, to your earlier point, I won't give anything away. There's no doubt about it. That is the best and hardest hole on that front 9 that they have there for the tournament course because, from the back tees, you're talking 454. But even such, we played, the blue tees, which are kind of considered member tees, and it's still 410, with a couple of trees out there on the right that my ball found, very, very hard. So I thought, and your second shot is a good 200 yards over water. So like that hole to me.
That's the key to it, Mike, is you got to put a good drive out there. That's got to be straight and it's got to be long and you got to get it past the tree and you're not done then. It's not, you don't have a 9-iron or a wedge in from that point. You have to fly it, somewhere between 160 to 200 yards, depending on if you're left side or right side of the fairway over, full carry over water and be able to spin it to stop it on the green to some spot that's, you might not be able to. And that makes it 2 very difficult shots to get on the green.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You got the green that kind of wraps all the way around on the right-hand side. You got that bunker there on the left that, you might want to bail out in the bunker, but then you're hitting a bunker shot with water in the backdrop. So that
you can't blame that.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's in like a bowl, like you're in like a little stadium almost, because you got the mounds that go up as well. So there are a ton of obstacles. There's no, to your point, there's no bailout spot because the next thing is going to be just as daunting.
Yeah, so I thought that hole on the front nine was honestly spectacular. And then when I think about the other side, I thought that seventh hole on the back nine, which probably I guess ends up being our 16th hole, um, downhill.
The short one, the short par 4 with the
Yeah,
water as well.
Yep. You
Yeah.
got the water there on the left as your second shot. You got that bunker perfectly placed there on the right-hand side that you got to avoid off the tee. Clearly Robert Trent Jones, when they're designing golf courses, these guys know what they're doing. Like, oh, this bunker's in a terrible spot. No, really, it's actually in a great spot because to that point, I felt like a lot of times I'm on tee boxes and I'm right in between clubs. Like, if I hit driver, like I could be in trouble. 3-wood, I got to, lay back short of the bunker, but that's going to have me hit a longer shot into the green. So there's a lot of thinking that goes on. And that second shot into that green, man, is just so good.
Yeah, and knowing the contour of things, like, okay, you put your drive out there for that hole, because that hole was beautiful, Mike, and you can go driver and be aggressive, and if you get it in the bunker, now you have one of those very odd, like 100 to 125 yard bunker shots over water to a peninsula green. Nobody wants that, right? So, but if you laid back, now you're talking about, something much longer, and you're taking 9 iron, 8 iron, 7 iron, maybe to again, peninsula green over water, and you got to try to hold something. But even if you do hit your drive out there, because you did play that hole very well, and you stayed left of the bunker, knowing, having some course knowledge on where the pin was and what to do was super helpful, because you put your ball probably landed 30 feet to the right, and it just kept trickling. You ended up having what, an 8-10 foot putt, because it just took the slope. And if you're someone who doesn't know any better, you might try to fly at the flag, which would have been stupid anyway, because it was as far left as possible. And again, peninsula in the water. You got water in front, water in back. That would be stupid. But had you put it too far right, now you're putting and you have a downslope and you don't necessarily know. So that's another intricacy to the course where, like, okay, you played it safe, terrific, great shot. Now you have a treacherous 30-40 foot putt that's going to sling and going to be downhill, and that's going to be touchy as well. So again, even if you try doing the smart thing or the safe thing, you still have obstacles. It is, as we said, it is very, very difficult, even when you're trying to do the smart thing and get around there. There's no real way of avoiding any kind of danger there.
Yeah, I mean, it is a thinking man's golf course. I know the way I prepared, in a sense, for Marion. I probably should have done the same thing at Metedeconk, because those are things when I think about after the round, because I am that sicko that all he does is lives and breathes this. And I'm like, okay, how can I get better? Or what could I have done better? If I legitimately prepared mentally, I probably would have been like, okay, I would have hit this shot differently. I would have done that differently. And I think that's always easy to say Monday morning quarterback wise. George Wall Ford in Red Bank, New Jersey is family owned and operated, proudly serving New Jersey residents with superior customer service since 1960. Rye, share your story about your experience there.
I can't say enough good things about George Wall Ford. I needed a new car. I had an old. I loved the brand that I had. I loved, it was an SUV, but had 165,000 miles on it. It was just time, So I hopped on over to George Wall Ford. I saw our guy Jerry, and Jerry and his team were awesome. I mean, from stem to stern, they're there, they're helping, they're knowledgeable. They have so many cars on the lot that you can go in and say, hey, I want a sunroof, a navigation, I want this kind of rims on it. There's a great chance that they have that car with all your specs, the color, all that thing. I like to be higher in my car. And I went and saw Jerry. He pointed me in the right direction. And again, it's awesome to have that kind of help and support from your salesman to the finance guy to to even they got somebody who helps you set up your car, right? I got an app on my phone now that's got my auto start on it. I can locate my car if I don't know where it is. I could take a trip to Japan if I wanted to and be like, did I lock my car? And I can go into the app and lock my car. So just the hands-on approach over there is incredible. So if you need a car, head on over to George Wall and go ask for Jerry. They were awesome there. Again, stem to stern from everybody. I can't say enough good things about it. It was an unbelievable experience.
There isn't a better place to shop for a brand new car. Just call 732-704-1932 and ask for Jeremy Wall. George Wall Ford in Red Bank for all your car buying needs. At the end of the day, that golf course is so damn hard, which led me, in my crazy way of thinking, to saying, I'm going to go through the top 25 list of Golf Digest's best course in New Jersey, and I'm going to put them in order based upon, I went to the GHIN handicap of where you'd post your actual scores as what is actually the hardest golf course. From a ratings perspective on the championship course, from the furthest back tees, I put a top 5 list together.
I love that you did this. And I asked you before the show when you said you did it. I asked you what it was, and I'm glad you didn't tell me, because I think this is going to be good content on here. Mike, there's no doubt to me that Metedeconk is the hardest golf course, or one of the hardest golf courses in New Jersey. It's in the top 5 for sure. Are you going to give me the 1, 2, 3? What, can you give me where it is?
Yeah. Okay, so you do. So I didn't know if you had anything more to add to that. So my crazy mind, I took the list of Steve Hennessy's right from Golf Digest, and I said I'm going to go through all 25, and I'm just going to find the top 5. Like, what are the top 5 hardest courses? Because Brent said out there he thinks from tee to green that is the hardest golf course from the back tees. So I went to the numbers. You know me, numbers guy. Let me pull up all the data. Let me see on GHIN. If I were to actually post a score from the championship tees, the back, everything of the back, Metedeconk is number 2 overall. It is a 77.1 rating from the tournament course, championship tees. But there is something harder than that. Do you know what that is?
I don't. I do have a little list in my mind as I was thinking about it, because I thought about how hard that course was while we were out there. And I was thinking about this kind of as we were going through. I want to say, is Arcola on this list?
They're in the top 10.
Okay. Top 10. Pine Valley.
4.
All right. So I got 2 and 4. What about, is Crystal Springs on the list?
No.
Are they all private courses?
All private.
Okay. I felt like when we were up at Crystal Springs, they had made that was one of their taglines, the hardest. Maybe it's hardest public course in New Jersey. I'm trying to compare, when we played Baltusrol, I don't think it was as hard as Metedeconk. So I'm trying to place where it is. We'll go Baltusrol. Is Baltusrol lower on that list?
Baltusrol lower is number 5.
Okay. Liberty National.
Liberty National is number 6.
Well, what about Ridgewood?
Ridgewood is number 3.
The composite. The championship. Yep, the composite.
From the back tees. Right.
Okay.
So you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5, you got 6. You don't have number 1. And I'm willing to bet you lunch that I'm going to give you 3 guesses from this point on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to bet you lunch, and I'm going to eat because you're going to buy it, that you can't name the number 1 spot in the next 3 guesses. Are you taking my bet first? You haven't answered that part.
I will take your bet.
Yes. Now I'm eating. Wait till you see this guy eat. We got the credit card ready to swipe. Your first guest is
Show me Mountain Ridge.
Mountain Ridge. Is it on the board?
Now I'm blanking. Can I pull up a list of the top 25 courses in New Jersey?
You do what you need to do to get this right.
Top
How about that?
Courses in New Jersey. I just want to see the list because now I'm trying to think and I don't know what I'm.
Well, this encyclopedia over here, I can tell you, you didn't say Somerset Hills, you didn't say Hamilton Farm, you didn't say Essex County, you didn't say Galloway, Plainfield. I mean, there's a ton of courses on this list that you just have not said. Manasquan River, Due Process Stable. I mean, I'm going to keep.
Pine Valley was 4.
This Rolodex is just firing through names. Pine Valley was 4, correct.
Somerset's a good one. Plainfield's a good one. I said Ridgewood already. I don't think it's Hollywood. I didn't see Bayonne with you. I don't think it's Galloway.
You got your boys at North Jersey.
I'll tell you what, if I don't say North Jersey and it's that, I'm going to be pissed.
That would be fitting. That would be so fitting.
I don't think it's the Ridge. I don't think it's Bedminster. I said Arcola. Arcola was 4, 5?
Oh, top 10.
Oh, top 10. I think it's a course you said. Am I right there?
Stop asking for clues. You've had enough time. You're about to get a second if you don't respond with an answer.
Okay.
This is not, we have 24 hours to answer a question.
Okay, I'll go Somerset.
Somerset Hills, is it on the board? We are down to our final strike here, or otherwise the little guy is eating a buffet of food.
Fuck. Is it all right, I got 2. I said Ridgewood there. I mean, could it be Hollywood? Oh man.
I need an answer in 5.
I'll go
4.
I'll go
3.
Essex County.
2. Is Essex County on the board? I'm sorry, you did not win this game today. Going home with today's prize is Mike Poro. Let's go! And the winner and the hardest golf course, according to the GHIN handicap, from the championship tees, okay, you never would have gotten this. Never would have gotten it. And I knew that's why I was going to win this bet. Okay. Is Trump National Golf Club, Bedminster, the old course from the black tees, is a 77.6 rating, 0.5 higher than Metedeconk.
Wow. I even said I don't think it's Trump. But
I know you did.
I didn't get there. I've never been on property. Quite frankly, I don't even know where it is in New Jersey. I mean, I know in Bedminster, but interesting. You know what? I guess I could have guessed that because it's hosted some live events, right? If you go by what hosts different things.
I mean, listen, before all the political thing came involved, they were actually slated to host, I believe, a PGA championship at one point too. But I'll give you the list. So the top 5 hardest golf courses in order, and I'm going from 5 to 1.
Okay.
Number 5 is the lower course at Baltusrol, 76.5. Number 4, Pine Valley, 76.6. Ridgewood, the composite course, championship tees, 77.0. Metedeconk National Tournament Course, championship tees, 77.1. Trump Bedminster, championship tees, old course, championship tees, 77.6.
Mike, this just solidifies it. I got to get out to the old course at Bedminster and play and see it for myself. That's just what it's going to have to be, and just get.
Are you going to play the back tees? You can't do
do
that to yourself. You can't do it to yourself. It's actually par 72 if you play that, but I doubt they'd even let you play that. But anyway, that is what it is.
That
Get
is
some homework.
That's wild. That is great homework. Good job on you. Really well done. Good list. I don't know if I would have. I don't think I would have gotten that. But I've never been there. Have you ever been there?
No, but I love the fact that I am owed lunch because I might just, you want to talk about you think I don't eat. Wait till you see I actually eat.
I can't wait to take you to Wendy's.
Intermittent fasting is going to be out the window for the day you and I sit down and have a buffet. Yes, I'll take one of these and one of those. And you know what? Dessert is on the menu as well. Let's go.
What is the slope? What is the rating, I mean?
For Chump,
Bedminster.
77.6.
So for those that are wondering, and you're probably not, but I was, 77.5 is Bethpage Black from the backs. So it's 0.1 percent harder, 0.1 whatever the rating harder than Bethpage Black. Yeah, well, like I said, Mike, we can hit the dollar menu at McDonald's as hard as you want to.
Don't go cheapo on me. Don't go cheapo on me.
Really interesting. That is wow, that's crazy to me. Mike, I know you don't like surprises, but I gave you a surprise last week, and I got another one for you this week. You ready?
Yeah, I'm not a surprise guy. I like to prepare. I mean, two in a row in a week. One is good enough for a calendar year.
I'm going to try to surprise you every week, quite frankly.
There we go.
I was able to get my hands on the German test.
Oh, my little quiz, little pop quiz.
So it is it is translated. It's rather long. It's 10 pages. And there are several sections. Yeah. So I don't even know.
Just give me the first 3 questions.
Okay. I can do that.
And you have the answer key?
No.
Oh, so I'm just going to get all 3 right then.
I mean, if you think so. So the first question, so that it is broken up, it looks like by category, like each question has so it says question 1, general, question 2, medium, question 3, light, question 4, difficult, question 5, general. So it does have kind of varying degrees here of question, which is pretty interesting. So why don't we go with that? We'll go a general, a light, and a difficult. Which do you want?
I just buttoned my belt buckle even tighter because I'm just gonna get this all right. Give me the hard. Give me the hard. Fire away. Yeah, let's go. Let me birdie the first.
Okay. Well, now I'm in a string of general, medium, difficult. Okay. This is question 11. In a penalty area, a player's swing is impeded by a pipe. What is the player allowed to do? Number 1, the player may drop the ball without penalty within 1 club length the nearest spot for complete relief. This spot may also outside the penalty area. Again, remember, it translated from German, so it's not exactly correct. Number 2, the player may, without penalty, play the ball within 1 club length of the nearest point of complete relief, but within the penalty area drop. And number 3, the player may play the ball as it lies within the with a penalty stroke, play outside.
Well, if it's inside the penalty area, it is what it is. It's just unlucky you don't get any free relief. So A and B are out. So it has to be C. You could take it out. You're inside, but your ball is inside the line. Therefore, it doesn't matter. What is there?
You're playing it or you're getting a penalty.
Correct.
That is what I would imagine to be correct. But also, I should have started with this, Mike. Remember, this is for people who are new to golf or trying to get a golf license, right? You and I have played a lot of golf. We know a good amount about the golf rules. You got to think of these as someone who is new or trying to get their license. They're either young or new to the game or something like that. They haven't really experienced as much as you and I have. And especially me, I know I would say I have a doctorate level knowledge of penalty areas in golf. So, yeah, I would imagine if you have an impeded stroke in a penalty area, you're in a penalty area. Sorry. Don't hit it there. You want a light one? You want a medium one?
Surprise me at this point.
Let's go.
I'm one under through one.
Okay. This is a medium question. A player marks his ball on the green, picks it up, and then intentionally lets it roll a short distance across the green. This is 1, a serious violation of the rules of conduct. 2, a check of the surface and therefore a violation of the rules. 3, a permissible procedure to test the speed of the green.
I'm going to say it's A. It's a serious infraction.
So I would say it's,
unless you could argue B. I guess in some aspects you could probably argue B, but like
I would
can't
say
take
B
the ball
because it says a check of the surface, like you're checking the surface. That's what you're doing, and therefore a violation of the rules. So I think that
it could be,
B is the stronger answer, because the
you're
other
probably
one
right
is just saying it's a violation and of the rules, and the other one is saying you did this and therefore it's a violation.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could take a bogey there. I got that wrong.
So I would say that's a like when you have two correct answers or two answers that could be right, which one's the stronger? If you go to like SAT testing from high school, I think that's the one there.
Yeah, we don't want to go down that boat with me, man. Holy moly. That's just probably why I'm not a good test taker, but that story's for another day.
And then let's give you a light one. Who is authorized to drop a ball? 1, the player or his counter. 2, only the affected player himself. 3, the player himself or any person he authorizes. I will say this is a very sexist test. Every question is assuming that only men are playing golf.
It's got to be B. You're the one playing. It's got you control your golf ball, as they say. It can't be anybody else.
Yeah, this is confusing to me, and maybe it's supposed to be the player or his counter. Like, those are the people playing. So I would assume that both of us are allowed to drop a golf ball if we have to drop a ball, but
not for that person.
But not for that person. So it's kind of depending on who you're taking it, right? If I hit it out of bounds, you can't drop the ball for me, right? I have to be the one to drop it. But if we're playing together and we are both in competition, we're both allowed to drop a ball. But I would also take, again, I would have said that only the affected player would be my answer there too. And without correct answer, an answer sheet on here, we're correct on all these. So you and I got 100, which is nice.
Love that.
Do you want a general question? That's the last one we're missing. Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
where should the stroke count for a hole be entered on the scorecard? Immediately on the green of the hole just completed. I'm sorry. Number 1, immediately on the green of the hole just completed. Number 2, at the next tee or on the way there. Number 3, the scorecard should be completed for all holes after the round.
I'm going to say B, on the way to the next hole.
I would agree, because immediately on the green is, yes, you want to put it in right away, but I think this question is looking for pace of play and trying to get you. No, we don't do that as you walk to the next hole or as you're teeing off on the next tee. Like, that's when you could get out of the way of the people and move on. Yeah, I would agree there. So listen, this is if I keep scrolling down, we got there's like another section, right? So from that section that I just did, there's 30 questions. And then there's another section, according to the guidelines, solutions to the standardized question. It just restarts. It doesn't say like this is another like rules, like general rules or whatever it is. But honestly, Mike, this could be a second test. I just have 2 tests here because it's also 30 questions, but they are different questions. So, if you'd like, Mike, it is in the drive. If you'd like to go check it out, I don't know if we want to. Maybe we'll take a couple rules each week, and we'll go through this test for a little bit. But I did find it finally. I was searching the internet. I actually, I don't know if you saw in the DMs, but I was DMing some German golf courses. I Googled top golf courses in Germany and just DM'd them. And some of the ones, we got some German back, which was interesting, but I was glad I could find this and kind of put a bow on it for us because we had talked so much about it.
Yeah, nice work. Yeah, we got 100. So moving on.
Mike, we do have a couple smaller topics that I guess we just should mention before we wrap up here. The first one is a little on the somber side. I don't know if anyone saw, but keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. I don't have any names, but at Hominy Hill the other day, just looking at it, it was 3 or 4 days ago now. On the 13th hole, someone posted that the group in front of them, someone had a massive heart attack, and they took a picture of the ambulances on the golf course. And someone actually, unfortunately, passed away after having a massive heart attack. So no real information to report on the person's name, age, anything like that. But, just kind of think about, that family, give them some thoughts and prayers as they struggle. Because, I mean, that's tough. You think you're just going out to play a round of golf, pretty innocuous. It's not like, hey, I was, going to go play tackle football or something like that. It's pretty innocuous, and to not come home is really tough. So, again, thoughts and prayers to that person's family. And then the next thing, Mike, we'll go sad and we'll bring you back up again. Mike, we got to talk about the MGA article just came out on you and I, which was kind of surreal to see on there, but was really cool. We got interviewed a couple weeks ago about kind of what we do basically. It was a reverse to it was interesting to be sitting in the opposite seat there. But it was really, really pretty neat. And thank you to the MGA for putting that out on us. But kind of talked about where we started from, how we've been doing this as we kind of start our 4th year here of what we got going on. And hopefully bigger things can continue to grow from that. And hopefully we've been talking to the MGA to grow and develop this relationship, and just hopefully this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that an organization like theirs reaches out to us to write an article about the things that we're doing, it's kind of a feather in the cap, because that, kind of shows that we're really getting this bad boy out there. And to be on their website, like if you legit go to mgagolf.org, you go down to featured content, who's swinging there is you and I. And it says the article's right there. We're talking golf in the Garden State and beyond, and just having her do that, her referencing Helen, who's, their director of communications, having her spend the time to grill us and put us on the hot seat, and frankly, just learn about the things that we do and how we operate and what goes on behind the scenes. To go out to all their people is simply incredible. And, it's one of those, again, unbelievable things that just shows that what we're doing is really resonating with the people here at home.
Yeah, no doubt it is. And it's been really, we're doing the right things if people are wanting to, read more about us and get interested. And it's kind of surreal. You and I have talked about this, that we're two, just general dudes that kind of started up. We like talking about golf. We like playing golf. We like experiencing golf. We like to share golf. And it's really been pretty wild that it's been received in the way it has. So again, thank you to the MGA for the article, for the, for interviewing us, for thinking of us. It's really pretty, it is really pretty special for us, and it doesn't go unnoticed on our end. So Mike, you got anything else for this week?
No, but stay tuned. You and I are back on the course this week. We're hitting up another top 25 golf course in New Jersey. Stay tuned on Thursday. We're out and about. Come say hello. We don't bite.
We got an exciting winter is what we have, Mike. We got an exciting winter of golf course list making that we're going to have to be putting out there.
Yeah. And I guess the last thing I got is, you just referenced the MGA article. We got the Med Open champion on this week. I mean, it's a big dose of Northeast corridor golfing.
I'll tell you, Mike, they don't give these jobs to chimps, and that's what you call, a leeway into one. Great job. Good on you. Make sure you stay tuned for Thursday's episode. We have David Pastore, right? The Med Open champ 2025. Till then, cheers.